Hello, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to another session of Enriching China's webinars. I'm Mariana Marques, and I'm a part of the team of Enriching China from SPI, Sociedade Portuguesa de Inovação, which is the Enriching China Center's coordinator. Today's webinar is going to be focused on opportunities for technology cooperation between Spain and China. And to present for us today, we will have three speakers. So today's agenda is going to be composed by a first opening and a little presentation about Enriching China and some of the upcoming activities. This will be done by Dr. Sarah Medina, who is a member of the board at SPI. As I already mentioned, is Enriching China Center. Then afterwards, for our second presentation, we will have Mrs. Ángeles Valbuena, who is the head of Foreign Technology Actions at CDTI. She's going to be present us the CDTI's programs for international technology cooperation. And finally, we will have a presentation about opportunities for technology cooperation among Spain and China, who is going to be our main focus of today. This presentation is going to be done by Mr. Carlos Quintana from CDTI also, and Mr. Carlos Quintana is the delegate for CDTI in China for the Department of Foreign Technology Action. So he's the right person to inform us about this topic of cooperation between Spain and China specifically. At the end, we will have the questions and answer session. So right now I will already give you this instruction. If you look at the panel of your GoTo webinar tool, you will see a box named questions. If there are questions there throughout the presentations, and at the end I will read them to the speakers, and we will have around 10 to 15 minutes to answer to your questions. So this little introduction is done. I will now pass on the word to our first speaker, Dr. Sarah Medina. Please.
Okay, thank you very much, Mariana. So I'd like to welcome all of you, and it's really a great pleasure to have so many participants today. We have more than 100 registrations, and we already have close to 60 attendees at this stage. I'd like to thank so much to CDTI, to Carlos and to Ángeles for being able to join us in this joint webinar of Enriching China together with CDTI. Just some very short words about Enriching China. We are a network of research and innovation centers that aim to support different types of Europeans from the business, from the innovation and the research side in tackling all aspects related to science, technology and innovation, research and development in China. We want really to support all the EU countries, all the EU member states and the associated countries in internationalization strategy to China on all aspects to science, technology and innovation. Next slide, please. Next one, please. So we are a network of different partners. So we have a group of partners from Europe and another group from China. From Europe, we have organizations like Innovation Norway, the EBN, the network of business incubators located in Brussels, two organizations from Germany, Steinbeis and also from Hofer, FFG, the National Funding Agency from Austria, and also FORT from Greece, and the EU Relations from Switzerland. From China, we have organizations that are linked to the Ministry of Science and Technology in China, like the Torch Center and SSTEC, also UPIC, University of Nottingham, and the Tsinghua University. Next one, please. We offer different types of services that pass through the organization of missions. Right now, we cannot do them. We hope that soon we'll be able to start again. We organize different types of trainings, and I'll present you some that are coming up. We also have webinars like this one. We have a series of soft landing zones that are located in China that have been certified by us. So these are locations, basically incubation space that is provided in different cities in China. And there will be also a series of webinars that I will tell you more about what these soft landing zones can provide. And we can also offer one-to-one consultancy to any of you. So if you have any product that you want to find the partners in China, you want to see how to sell it in China, you can come to us. If you want to do any type of market study report, you can also come to us and we can discuss the best way to support you. Next one, please. So we have next week coming up a workshop on how to do business in China, about best practices and case studies. So this will be given by a very well-known person that is also very well-known with the China market. His name is Bart, and he's also leading one of the soft landing zones that we have located in Xi'an. So Bart will be able to tell you everything about how European SMEs can internationalize to China market and present you some successful cases and also some recommendations on what should not be done. And I think his experience is really very, very valuable. And the topics that will be tackled will be market research in China, market entry modes, partner research, legal and intellectual property issues, e-commerce, social media. So the registrations are still open. And actually tomorrow there is a promotion day. And the first 10 applications will have a free ticket for this workshop plus another workshop. So if you go to this link, you can tomorrow get the first 10 applicants will get free tickets. Next slide, please. We have another workshop coming up in the end of the month that you can also get free tickets if you go to the link tomorrow, the first 10, and afterwards the fee of payment is very low, about 40 euros. And this topic will be about Chinese culture and business etiquette. So we have also one of our partners that will be giving this training. And this training will start with an explanation on the culture and also organizational culture and also the foundation of the Chinese culture. So if you are interested in knowing more about the Chinese culture, and this is really crucial for any type of business you want to do with China. The Chinese culture is completely different than Western culture. So for you to do any type of business with China, you need to understand the Chinese culture. So you need to really see what is important for them, all the guanxi, and then that will help you to do any type of business cooperation. So I remember the first time I went to China back in 2003. I went there to meet a potential partner, and I wanted to start already discuss the cooperation, and they stopped and they said, first we have to go to have lunch, we have to get to know each other, and just after that we can start talking about business. So if you want to know more about this, please register for this workshop. Next one, please. We will have also two upcoming webinars, and these are free. You just have to register like you did for this one. The next one is already next week on September 15 on Tuesday, and will be about enriching China soft landing zones in South China. So we have a series of soft landing zones located in Shanghai, in Hangzhou, and also in Nanjing, and you'll be able to learn what they can offer you. So they will tell what type of activities that they can support you on internationalizing to the China market, and also some of them can provide access to local funding. So you just have to register through the link here in this slide. Next one, please. Another series of soft planning zones will be presenting, in this case on September 29. And in this case, there will be another panel discussion with soft planning zones located in Beijing, in Shijiazhuang, and another one in Xi'an. So you'll be able also to learn more on how they can support all of you. They have special conditions for all of you to go to China, and they are very knowledgeable. They have been in China for a long time. They are also focused on specific sectors, like we have the 3D printing that is located in Beijing, in Zhongguancun, in one of the largest and the most well-known science parks in worldwide. And they will be able to tell you, and this will be a very interesting discussion that you can register for free. Next one, please. We will have in October, on October 20, 21, and 22, a funding forum. This funding forum will be a one-stop shop event about different funding opportunities in Europe, China, and also USA for researchers, startups, and SMEs. The first day will be about EU funding, the day to the 21st of October about national funding, and 22 of October startup and SME funding. So the agenda, I think it's excellent. We have excellent speakers with us. The registrations are still open. You just have to go to this link. And there is a special promotion until tomorrow. So there is an early bird special promotion until tomorrow. If you go to this link, and you can be with us in this funding forum. So we are expecting a quite high number of attendees, and this will be also very interesting discussions with the different speakers. Next one, please. So you can, next one. So you can contact us anytime through, you have here our website, you have here our email address, also our social media. So anytime you can write to us, you can contact us, and we can have also a bilateral discussion with you. So again, thank you so much for being with us, and thank you so much to Carlos, Angeles, and thank you also to Mariana for being in this webinar. And I'll be also with you for the final part of the Q&A. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah, for the presentation. Now we'll pass on to Mrs. Angeles Valbuena to start with her presentation about the CDTI's programs for international technology cooperation.
Thank you very much, Mariana. Thank you. Good morning to everyone. First of all, say thank you to SPI Porto, to ENRICH, Sarah and Mariana. Thank you very much. You are doing a very great job to promote the collaboration with China, and you have given also very good advices in your presentation before me. Very interesting. Well, I will start introducing the Center for Industrial Technological Development, our CDTI. And after that, I will focus my presentation in the foreign action activities and in the international technological cooperation programs. Can you help me with the slides, Mariana, please? Next one. Okay. Our center was created in 1977. CDTI is a public entity under the Ministry of Science, Innovation and Universities. And we are, in definitive, the Spanish Innovation Agency. Our mission is to enhance Spanish companies' competitiveness, internationalization through the innovation. Our main focus are companies. Next, please. During more than 40 years, we are supporting the Spanish research, technological development and innovation. And we have supported around 26,000 projects with a budget of 26,500 million euros, sorry. Part of that in direct support to companies, around 16,000 million euros, and a part of the budget is coming from return of European programs. Next, please. Some of our main activities are there in this slide, and I would like just to point out some of them. For example, we have a pool of experts of evaluation that cover all technologies, and we evaluate our projects. So projects that are applying for our instruments are evaluated in our facilities. Other interesting activity that we promote is the support to the creation and consolidation of new technology-based companies. We have several instruments as Invierte or Neotech grants that are mainly focused to these startups or technology-based companies. In internationalization activity, we will go deeper later, but we manage international technological cooperation projects like Eureka. I don't know if you know about it. Iberoeca, instruments of Eureka like Eurostars. We manage also the Horizon 2020 program. And we support through our foreign network, external network, the technological transfer, several kind of projects that I will explain later better. Another thing that we have inside CDTI is the Spanish representation at the European Space Agency. And we also manage the industrial returns in large scientific facilities. Next, please. As innovation agency, CDTI is always defining new instruments, giving services to companies, always trying to support the business growth. We support companies from the idea to the market, and we have those four main instruments or way of supporting the growth of a business. We support projects of research and development with instruments, with loans, and with grants. We also have another way of support, that's the pre-commercial public procurement. That's quite new since last year is working on. We support also the technological startups in their several maturity stages with equity. We have in several public-private investment vehicles. And of course, we support the innovation also with loans and grants. Next, please. Regarding the foreign technology action, what does CDT do to our objective is to strengthen competitiveness and position of Spanish companies with their own technologies. Companies should have their own technologies, and they have to invest in R&D in the international field. That's our mission. As main sections, we increase and dynamize the international technological cooperation. I keep this word in mind because I will go later deeper in this. We support the internationalization deployment of Spanish technology companies, essentially SMEs. They are supposed to have less resources for that. And we also work in the detection of new international market opportunities for Spanish technology companies. Next, please. So we have presence, a part of in Spain, of course, in Madrid. We have presence in those 42 places. Our first office was opened in Belgium, of course, in Europe, and also in Japan in 1985. But China, for example, 10 years later, in 2005, It's an office that is working very well. We have started our collaboration there with George at the beginning, and later Carlos will tell you better what are we doing now. So the collaboration with all those countries is fantastic. It's great. With China is also our best country, one of our best countries. And a part of this external network, as I said before, we have a national office in Madrid. So our activities are focusing into branches, so to say. We work in programs and we work in services. Next, please. The part of programs, we are working always in define new collaboration programs and promote the participation of Spanish companies in those programs. You have here represented in dark red all countries where we have an active program. So they are more than 90 countries. With the flags, I have represented the places where a delegate are, and they cover their own country and also some around that country. For example, our delegate in Morocco is based in Rabat in Morocco, but it covers also Algeria, Egypt, Emirates, other countries that are in the Mediterranean area, and also in other African countries. Just an example, but the important thing of this slide is to identify that we are collaborating with quite among big countries all around the world. If we go to the next slide, please. We divide, you can do next and next. We divide those countries in 4 groups, depending on the management that we are doing with them. We have the multilateral programs, bilateral programs, and unilateral programs. Okay. In multilateral, there are different programs like Eureka to promote the collaboration between European countries that are inside the program, but also with Canada, South Africa, Korea, Argentina, and Chile. They are also added, they have been added to the Eureka initiative recently. In Eureka, we try to promote the collaboration with Spain, Portugal, and also Latin American countries. They are referred there at this slide. Prima is another initiative. You have 2 sections. Section 1 more close to the Horizon 2020, but Section 2 is collaboration with all those countries, between all those agencies, and it tries to promote the activity between South Europe and North Africa. And bilateral programs, we have activity with 13 countries. So we have agreement with all those countries. In some of them, we have different programs depending on the agency that's our partner. So bilateral and multilateral means that we have agreements with innovation agencies or with ministries or sectorial agencies in all those countries. And it means that the project can be supported from both sides, always with a decentralized funding. Okay, there is not a common pot. And we have developed a new program that's called Unilateral in 2014, and that is not there is not a formal collaboration with an agency in those countries, but we offer to the Spanish companies the same benefits that in a bilateral or multilateral program, and to the other countries we help them to find funds, or they can do funds by themselves. Don't forget that there are countries where the system of science and technology is different, and companies don't need any public support. So, but for the Spanish side, we have this funding always. Okay, next please. What do those programs offer? They offer flexibility. I like to point that out because there are not close lines predefined. It can be projects coming from the industry. They are bottom up. We are always open to proposals. The management in general is continuous presentations. Every month there are approvals at our administration board, and they are programs with a decentralized support. The evaluation is common between all countries, all agencies, but the funding support is decentralized. They offer a very big visibility for companies that are participating in them. And don't forget that we have agreement with a lot of countries, and for example, as a success case, for example, they can be used in very big events for presentation. That's very interesting to have access to those possibilities. They offer a strong relationship with international partners. It's better, as we understand, to collaborate in research and development with a company than just in a commercial relationship. So, and they are based in the open innovation concept. So nowadays the innovation has to be open. The innovation doing by only one company by themselves is not more working in this globalized world. So they are based in this concept, and they provide also access to funding sources for our partners. In Spain, CDTI offers better funding conditions than in domestic R&D programs. And we offer also tax exception, and we offer the possibility of access to the innovative SME seal of our ministry. Next, please. And a part of the programs, our department, so the Foreign Technology Action Department, offers several services. We have summarized all programs that we have split in 3 windows a year. We have this plan in our website. You have the link there if you want to check. We can offer advice, continuous advice on the preparation of proposals. You can present the idea or a partner search. There are this possibility on this email. You can use that email as a general email of our department. We offer the possibility of access to newsletters from different regional areas, Asia Pacific, India and Southeast Asia, Middle East and North Africa, and the American countries. We participate in workshops like this one today, or we organize our own workshops also. Participation in international events, we offer that to companies. And channels for updating, please, you can use our distribution list. You have there the link. And also we are present in social networks through our Perspective magazine under the nick of CDTI official. Those are our channels for you to be updated. And next one. To finalize, just let you there our different channels of communication. I hope this presentation has been interesting for you, and I now give the word to Carlos that he will go deeper in the collaboration with China and with our Chineca program. Thank you.
Many thanks for the presentation, Angeles. We will now, as Angeles mentioned, pass on to the presentation of Mr. Carlos Quintana. You can go ahead.
Hello, thank you, Mariana. Thank you, Angeles, for introducing me. First of all, I would like to say thanks to SPI and to ENRICH China for organizing this webinar, and also because they are doing from my point of view, they're doing a pretty good job for increasing the cooperation in science and technology among EU and China and EU member states and China. And they are offering these services like consultancy services. And one important of them, for example, is trying to do matchmaking with Chinese companies. So that's a good initiative. So if you are a Spanish company and you are looking for a technology partner in China, especially for this call, sometimes we have cooperated with ENRICH China, and they are very good doing matchmaking. So if you don't have a Chinese partner for this call, ENRICH can help you. Of course, CDTI, as Angeles said, but both ways can be possible. So let me start with my presentation. Next, please, Mariana. Yes, Angeles has been talking about the international programs that we have to cooperate with different countries and especially with China. But behind these programs, there is the founding part of CDTI that is really interesting for a Spanish company. So first, I'm going to speak a little bit about the most used funding tools that we have to cooperate with China. And after I will present the call details. Okay, about the funding, we use this tool for R&D and I funding, and we are focused, as Angeles said, we are focused on companies. So that means that in terms of projects, we are focused on innovative projects. We are not focused in doing cooperation in basic science or applied science. We are focusing innovative projects. That means projects that are between technology readiness level between 5 and 6 to end in technology readiness level between 7 and 8. I mean, upper side of the technology readiness level. And we work with projects because we are thinking for Spanish. CDTI is the Spanish Innovation Agency, and we are focused to help the Spanish company. We are thinking in projects that must have the ambition to access to the market. Okay, so that's an important aspect of the project. And another important aspect is because we are focused on in this medium-high level of technology, we don't do work programs. We don't tell the companies what they have to do because the companies know much better than us what they need to do to cooperate with China. So that means that the project idea must come from the companies, must come from the consortium that is asking for the project. Okay, so in general, I will show later that for the call that we are talking today, there are a lot of different technology areas. In general, we are open the whole year and for no pre-selected technologies. But for the call, there are some details that I will explain later. Next, please, Mariana. So this is in terms of the previous slide was in terms of the characteristic of the funding for the project, and now here the details. We are talking as Angeles said, we work on soft loans, very soft loans. Now the interest I think is 0%, no interest at all. And you have 10 years to return the loan with 3 years grace period, and we cover 85% of the Spanish budget. That means that the company has to put with their own funding 15% only of the Spanish budget, but we provide up to 85% of the Spanish budget. And of the Spanish budget, for doing the project at international level, for doing the project in cooperation between Spain and China, 33% of this loan is non-repayable. The Spanish company has not to pay back to CDTI. So that means that for every 100 euros that CDTI provides for the project, for the Spanish company to do this technology cooperation for China, they only have to pay CDTI back at the end of the project 67 euros of each 100. So I think those are very, very good conditions. And one also important detail, the project length must be between 1 and 3 years, but for this call, I will explain later, is between 2 and 3 years. So the minimum length of the project should be 2 years, maximum 3 years. Next, please, Mariana. So this is a little bit our history in China, of our presence in China. We started in the year 2002 with our first office in Shanghai. So already 18 years have passed by. As you see, we are not newcomers in China. And in the year 2003, we started cooperating with Torch. That was the similar body in the Chinese administration compared to CDTI. And in the year 2005, we launched this program, the Chineca program, the program that we are proposing you to use in the next call. So already 15 years has gone by, it's not bad. But as you may know, in the year 2017, the Chinese government, the Chinese administration finished a reform of the science and technology system. And they changed the way of the funding was going to be provided to the companies and to the universities and to the technology centers. So if you take part in the webinar that Sarah was announcing about funding, you will learn a lot about this. But the important thing for today's presentation is because of this reform of the Chinese science and technology system, the government of China, the authorities of China, proposed us that we can keep working with Torch. We are still working with Torch. They are good partners and good friends of us, but they proposed us to start working directly also with the Ministry of Science and Technology of China, with the Directorate of International Cooperation of the Ministry of Science and Technology of China, with MOST. So we start doing that last year in 2018. We launched the first joint call between CDTI and MOST last year in a very concrete field. We use it like a pilot project. And with last year, we launched this call about advanced materials. I will explain you later on how is it going and the numbers of this call. So because it worked quite well, we decided to put a broader memorandum of understanding between CDTI, between Spain and China, and to cooperate between CDTI and MOST to launch a broader call for joint project between CDTI and MOST, between CDTI and Spain. And that's the call that we are talking today, that will be open very soon in priority fields, but they are very, very different technology fields. I will give you the details later on. Next, please, Mariana. So Chineca program, the program that we started in 2005 and that we are launching this call with MOST under this program now, as you can see, is a program focused for bilateral cooperation between Spain and China, between CDTI and MOST. And there must be, this is in general, there must be, this is something wrong in the slide, it said 2 companies, it's not exactly 2 companies, it's 1 company and 1 entity in China. So that means that in the consortium, there must be at least 1 Spanish company, but in the Chinese side, there is no mandatory to have a company. There could be any kind of entity. It could be a university, it could be a research center, or it could be a Chinese company. There is a decentralized funding. That means that CDTI provides the funding for the Spanish participation in the project, for the Spanish budget of the project, and then the Chinese entity, in this case, we will see later on, can apply to MOST for the key national project for get this funding. And the important thing is that the project gets this Chineca recognition, Chineca quality label, that it means that the project has been developed under the agreement and with the support of the Spanish and the Chinese government. That is something, this means that the project does not only have financial support, but also have institutional support. That I think that is something very important in countries like China and in Spain, of course, also. Thank you. Next one. So this is what we have done till today. As I told you, we started working, we signed the Memorandum of Understanding for Chineca program in 2005. We start having projects in the year 2006. So since then we have provided funding for 49 projects, and you can see the total budget that we have mobilized since then. So as you can see, the projects are a little bit bigger. That's in general, but we will see the details later on. The projects we are talking a little bigger of not a little bigger than 1 million euros per project. It's a little less, yes, 1.4 million euros per project. And normally it's around 60% the Spanish part, 40% of the Chinese part. The Chinese part is growing, in fact, more and more each year. And here you can see the geographical distribution of the projects in Spain and in China. The green star means 5 projects, the yellow starts 4, and the red star 2 projects. So you can see the Spanish distribution of the project. That is very interesting. Of course, we have a lot of projects in Madrid and Barcelona, but we also have a lot of projects in the north of Spain. In the north of Spain, normally these projects are about production, technology for production, smart manufacturing. And also there were several projects in that area about energy. And you also see that in the Mediterranean area, there is also several projects. And in this area, Valencia, for example, is very active in biotechnology or modern agriculture or food processing, things like that. And in China, of course, you can see the importance of the East Coast. You can see in the north part of the East Coast the importance of Beijing and Tianjin hub. But of course, you can see the around Shanghai. You don't only have Shanghai, you have Shanghai, and you have Zhejiang and Jiangsu and all the Yangtze River Delta. That is very important. And in the south, you can see also the importance of the hub between Guangdong and Shenzhen. But as you can see, we have had several projects also in several provinces in inner China. So I'm very proud because the geographical distribution in both countries is quite broad. Next one, please. This is a couple of examples. Maybe this is the one that is more close to the call that we are talking right now, more close because this project proposal was among a Spanish small and medium-sized company, Linker, that is specialized in health, in technologies for health. And the Chinese participant was Institute for the Beijing Academy of Science and Technology. So it's not a company, it's an entity of R&D. And what they do here is to try to work in technologies for bringing health to broader aspect of the populations through doing e-health services and increasing the protocol and basing a collaborative care models. This project was finished in the year 2018, and now it was a pilot project done in Beijing, but now they are implementing it in other areas of China, like Guangdong, for example. Next one, please. This is a very interesting project. It was between a Spanish company, Urola, that is a small company of the Mondragon Group, and a company from Zhejiang. The company from Zhejiang is specialized in elevators. So as you can imagine, in China, especially in the area of the Yangtze River Delta, all around China, elevators have a very important role, and they have developed a lot in China. So the idea is Urola, the main business of Urola is to manufacture machines to manufacture bottles for milk and yogurt. For dairy products. So Urola had a machine here in Europe that was able to produce 2.5 million of bottles per day. But as we are talking in China and the dimensions of China are so huge, they need to develop a machine that can produce 25 million of bottles per day. So they have to increase per 10 the capacity of the machine. So that's why they contacted with Giant, because Giant has a engine for the elevators that works quite well in a minimum space and with a minimum consumption of energy and with a minimum maintenance. So they are using this technology of this machine used for elevators to produce these new machines for doing packaging bottles for daily products. And in the product is also involved a technology center of the Basque Country that is called Techniker. Next one, please. This is another one. I'm not going to give more details. You'll have shown already a couple of them because we're running out of time. This is between a Spanish company that is providing software for broadcast video, and Shenzhen company Electronic that is specialized in electronic and optics. So both of them are joining forces to develop a camera for doing 360 degrees of video for sport events. Next one, please. So as we said, we launched our first call with MOST last year. The call was launched at the end of October, and it was focused on advanced materials. The funding from CDTI comes from the tools I explained you later on. The minimum funding of the Spanish side must be, the minimum Spanish budget must be 175 thousand euros, and the maximum Spanish budget has to be 900,000 euros. And MOST provides the funding from the key project scheme for international cooperation. And in this scheme, the Chinese entities, as I said, can be universities, technology centers, can be companies. And what MOST provides is 3 million of renminbis per project. So it's a little bit different approach. In the consortium, there must be a Spanish company. There could be also Spanish universities and Spanish technology centers, but they have to look funding in other sources, or they have to use their internal R&D funding, or they can also take part of the project as subcontractors of the Spanish company. And for giving you the numbers, the maximum project that we are foreseeing for this call were 6 projects. And we reached that maximum. There were 6 applications. Of these 6 applications, at the end, 5 projects will be approved. So that means a success ratio of more than 80%. So I think that is a quite good ratio for anyone. I hope that that will encourage you to present an idea for this year call. Next one, Mariana, please. And this is the call for this year. It's foreseen for autumn. It's very similar to last year, but be aware of the dates. They called me yesterday from China, and they told me that this year the dates will be a little bit earlier. So the call will be open the 21st of this month, so in a couple of weeks from now, and the call will close the 9th of November. So you have 1 month and a half to present your idea, and the way it works in general terms is the same as last year. Next one, please. Next one, yes. And this is what I was telling you. These are the technology fields covered by the call of this year. We have defined a broad list of fields, so that the proposal must match one of these fields. But as you see through the list, we are covering almost all the technology field that you can think about: smart city, smart manufacturing, biomedicine and technologies for health, pharma, energies, technologies for environment, water treatment. Very important also modern agriculture that I think is important, with food processing and food safety, and of course we are still covering advanced materials. The scope of this year is 15 projects. So last year the scope was 6 for just advanced materials. We got these 6 proposals. I hope that we can, I'm very optimistic, I hope that we can reach this 15 projects this year for all these different technology fields. And as I said, in the consortium, there must be a Spanish company and a Chinese entity. If you are a Chinese entity and you need to find a Spanish partner, CDTI can help you to find that Spanish partner here in Spain. If you are a Chinese entity and you need to find, if you are a Spanish entity and you need to find a Chinese partner in China, CDTI can help you, but also ENRICH China and SPI can help you in that process. Next one, please. So this is the way it works. The dates I give you is for the first phase. I mean, during September, November, you have to apply for the international part of the evaluation. If the project is considered as international cooperation, that means there is a Spanish company, a Chinese entity. There is ambition to access to the market at when the project is finished, and the technology is in the latest status of the maturities and innovation project. Then the project will be considered as eligible, and then it will go to the second phase, that is the evaluation of the project. CDTI will do the evaluation of the Spanish part. MOST will do the evaluation of the Chinese part. And if we both agree that that is a good project, you will get the Chineca label, you will get the funding of CDTI, and you will get the funding of MOST. The important thing of this kind of scheme, of this official scheme, is the following from my point of view. For the Spanish participants, you know that MOST will do a financial and technical evaluation of the Chinese project, so you will know before starting the project that the Chinese partner is in a very good condition for doing the project from a technical point of view, but they are also from a financial point of view in a good situation, but vice versa in the Spanish side. If you're a Chinese entity and you want to cooperate with Spain, as you know that CDTI will do a deep evaluation of the proposal of the Spanish company, you will know that the Spanish company has the technology for doing that development and the technology that you need, and has also the financial capacity for finishing the project. Next one, please. And also I would like to mention also another tool for cooperation, that is Horizon 2020 in the future Horizon Europe. That's also another tool of cooperation that CDTI takes charge for doing this cooperation. And I guess that when MOST will open the call at Chinese level, they will include also Horizon 2020. There is a funding mechanism for cooperation between China and Europe and Spain, but this is medium level of technology projects, and there must be multilateral projects, not bilateral. But it's also an interesting tool. And next one, please. So thanks a lot to you for your patience, and I hope the presentation and the webinar has been interesting for you. And in the next slide, Mariana, you can see the contact details. So if you have any question, or if I can help you anyhow, either if you are Chinese or either if you are a Spanish entity, you can contact me at that email address. So that's all from my side. Thanks a lot to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carlos, for the presentation. Very interesting information, I'm sure, for all of our attendees. Now I will ask for the participation of all our 3 speakers of today, because we will start with the Q&A session. I will remember once again, everyone, that you can check on your GoToWebinar tool settings the box for questions. You can write your questions there, and now we will have around 10 minutes to answer any question that you have. We already have here one comment and one question from Mr. Jan Hoffman, who is a known collaborator of ENRICH in China also. He's saying that presentations of today were very interesting, and thank you. And he's asking about the impact of COVID-19 on the cooperation projects. What do you expect for the near future, as long as Europe is still separated from China due to travel restrictions? Carlos, Angeles, I don't know if you want to say something about this. Maybe
yes,
Carlos.
let me try to answer this question. Okay, the pandemic influence to the program, to the call. From our experience of last call, what we had in 2019 call was some delay in the evaluation of the projects because at both parts, at the Spanish part and at the Chinese side, the evaluators were not able to travel to visit the companies. At the Spanish level, that has been solved, and now we are doing the visit of the companies through doing electronic tools and online visit. So at the end, the evaluation was finished and the project were approved, so that has not impact. For the development of the projects are thought for doing technology cooperation. I mean, are thought for doing a joint development of the project between a Spanish entity and a Chinese entity. So that means that the Spanish entity does not have to open a subsidiary in China, does not have to move to China, and neither the Chinese side to Spain. They can do their cooperation and the coordination through online tools like this one, and the Spanish side will do the research here in Spain, and the Chinese side will do the research in China. Of course, in some of the work packages, there must be the need, for example, for doing the final testing and things like that, there must be the need of traveling, but that will be at the end of the project, and they are project of 2-3 years of length. So I hope that for years 2002, 2003, there will not be restrictions in that sense. And if there still are, I guess that technology will be developed also to do this testing together in a proper way. And finally, to set as complementary information, and as I mentioned in my presentation, technologies for health are included in the call. And you said, you saw a sentence that didn't mention specifically COVID, but pharma and technologies that have impact in the society, technologies for health are welcome. So that means that if you have a project idea for developing a product, a process or a service that could be good to fight against the pandemic, of course, is covered by this call.
Okay, thank you, Carlos, for the explanation. I will just ask you about the numbers for the financing of this most CDTI cooperative call. Do you have a reference amount for the whole combined project, or for each project for the financing?
Well, the reference amount is that no country can do more than 70% of the total budget. Or saying in other words, no country can do less than 30% of the total budget. Okay? From the Spanish, the problem is that there is different approach. From the Chinese side, they have 3 million euros, 3 million of renminbis. That's what most provide per project. And from the Spanish side, we have a minimum that is 175,000 euros, a maximum of 900,000 euros. So there you can combine. But the most important idea that you have to keep in mind if you are applying is that no country can do more than 70% of the total budget or less than 30%. With that, you can play. You can have a Chinese entity doing 40% and a Spanish company doing 60%. Or, for example, in last year call, we have several 50-50 projects. So that depends on them. So if you have 50-50 project, that will take you to projects that are around 800. It depends on the exchange at when you propose the project, but we are talking about projects around 800,000 euros, with Spain doing 40,000 euros, China doing 400,000 euros, China doing 400,000 euros, in total 800,000 euros per project, something like that.
Okay, and when would be the final dates for the results would be expected for the final evaluation process with the various stages that you mentioned? When would it be expected to be finalized? Only next year?
As I said, what we are opening now is the preliminary phase. That is when you apply to Chineca for the international aspect of the project, and that will be open from 21st of September till 9th of November, to be confirmed. There could be some small changes, but those are the dates that are foreseen. And then we will provide the eligibility to the projects that fulfill the international aspect of the call by mid-December. Okay, so by mid-December, the projects will know if they are accepted to apply for the second phase or not. So that means that if they are not accepted, they don't have to do the effort to apply for a full format of the project. So if they are accepted, they will have to till beginning of February to apply for the second part. The second part is the financial part, so it's the most important one. So they have almost 2 months to prepare the application for the funding. And then after they have applied, we will have the evaluation till mid-June. So at mid-June next year, they will know if they will have the funding or not. Sometimes it can go, because we try to not have influence between the Spanish evaluation and the Chinese evaluation. We have to keep it independent. So but we have these points for coordination. But if the project, if the evaluation is finalized earlier than this date that I'm telling you, they will be communicated. So there are some projects, for example, this year, some projects knew from the Spanish side that if the evaluation was positive or not. But those are the main dates. From 21st of September till 9th of November, the application for the international aspect. Mid-December, they will know that if they are eligible or not. And then from mid-January, from that point till mid-February, they will have to apply for the funding in each part, in China and in Spain.
Okay, thank you for clarifying, Carlos. Just one final question. The companies can find this information and do the application through the CDTI website or platform?
Yes, for applying in Spain, they have to apply through this CDTI webpage. For applying in China, they have to apply through most webpage. But what is most important is that for applying to this first phase, they have to develop an application form, a Chineca application form, and a consortium agreement. Okay, so if they are, of course, we will make it public through the social networks that Angeles was mentioning, the specific conditions and the links and the forms and so on. But if anyone attending here wants to have them in advance or have some specific question or wants to know the details of this application form and this consortium agreement, they can write to me and I will send it to them. The important thing is that this application form and this consortium agreement must be in English, signed and stamped by all the members of the consortium.
Okay, Carlos, okay, I think that your clarifications were very useful. We have here one final question also from Mr. Jan Hobma. He's saying, if Spanish SMEs are looking for partners in China to collaborate on a technology level, sorry, it's not a question, it's an information. Mr. Carlos Quintana can contact me as a European representative of G9, because Mr. Jan Hopman is a representative of the G9 Innovation Zone. So if we have contacts of Spanish companies interested in this region, Mr. Jan Hopman can support us.
Thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. He can contact me to my email address, and vice versa. If he is looking for a partner in Spain, please contact me, and I will be more than happy to help them.
So and we'll be very happy to put the both of you in contact, of course. Okay, so for the question section, I think we have finished. I would just remember the attendees that if you have any further questions, or if you'd like to receive any more detailed information, as Carlos also mentioned, you can contact him or us, and we will try to provide you all of the information needed about this opportunity of cooperation between Spain and China. So Carlos, thank you for your time answering these questions. I will now finish the questions and answers part, and we'll pass on the word to Sarah for her to close today's session. Sarah?
Thank you very much, Mariana. So on behalf of SPI and ENRICH in China, I'd like to thank very much CDTI and Carlos and Angelas for being with us today on this very interesting webinar on opportunities for technology cooperation among Spain and China. So feel free to contact us anytime, and then we can support you in anything you need here in Europe, also including, of course, Spain, and also anything needed in China through our network of partners. And stay tuned for the next upcoming activities. Thank you so much, each of you, and be safe. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.